The COVID-19 pandemic is a global crisis with increasingly significant health, economic, and social repercussions. As the pandemic started becoming more severe, the spread of fake news started to increase rapidly as well, causing people to become fearful and paranoid. Fake news is referred to as misinformation that is commonly seen online, such as social media platforms and unverified news sources. In Singapore, 6 in 10 people have been exposed to false information on social media. The spread of such false information has resulted in health consequences among recipients and has also fueled panic and irrational behaviors. In Nigeria, multiple individuals were hospitalized for an overdose on the drug chloroquine after President Trump made comments about using it to treat the coronavirus. There was also a surge of Nigerians stocking up on the medication, leading to price hikes. In a grander scheme of things, this phenomenon of false information reduces the legitimacy of new scientific discoveries regarding potential cures and creates a social stigma around COVID-19, which results in reduced compliance with home quarantine and social isolation orders. Mobile communication is especially relevant to the problem of misinformation as digital news consumption continues to shift towards mobile platforms. In 2015, 99 out of 110 major news websites were already reporting more smartphone and tablet users than desktop users. During the pandemic, mobile device usage increased during typical working hours, and mobile users were also using their devices later into the night on weekdays. Individuals use the internet more to search for information regarding health and finance, which suggests an increase in consumption of information rather than entertainment. After some research, 2 schools of thought have emerged regarding the factors influencing the belief in misinformation. One perspective suggests that the belief in misinformation is primarily caused by motivated reasoning, where people use their reasoning to protect their ideological commitments rather than uncover the truth. While the other perspective suggests that the use of analytical thinking improves one's ability to discern between fake and real news, which decreases their vulnerability towards misinformation. So, why are individuals less likely to engage in analytical thinking when presented with misinformation? Research suggests that emotional aspects are likely to draw an individual's focus to the emotional dimension of a given problem, rather than other relevant dimensions like logical validity. This results in the brain having a smaller capacity to process other logical tasks since the individual is fixated on the emotional aspect of a given problem. This has been supported by brain imaging studies in which negative emotion stimuli reduce the activation of brain regions related to the working memory on certain cognitive tasks. In the context of fake news, reliance on emotion has been shown to result in a greater belief in fake news as compared to individuals who rely on reason. This shows that heightened emotionality is a predictor of belief in fake news. Thus, the reliance on emotion reduces the likelihood of one using analytical thinking when presented with misinformation, making them more vulnerable to fake news. In order to understand more about the relationship between fake news and emotionality, a questionnaire was administered through 4 different platforms to examine the differences between news consumption and emotionality on different media platforms. 124 participants ranging from ages 19 to 56 were first presented with 4 separate news pieces and asked about their belief in the accuracy of the news piece, as well as their likelihood of engaging in information verification and the likelihood of sharing the news piece. We then measured their emotional reaction immediately after reading all news pieces using the positive and negative affect schedule, also known as the PANA scale, that measures a participant's positive and negative affects. Data analysis through the questionnaire found that the more negative one's emotional state is, the more vulnerable they are to fake news. This analysis also showed that while the paper respondents were more vulnerable to fake news as compared to desktop users, mobile device respondents were the most vulnerable to fake news of the 3 groups. Further analysis concluded that mobile device users were also the most likely to share the fake news with others. In general, it was also found that the respondents' past frequency of sharing information had a strong correlation with their belief and sharing of fake news. However, in terms of emotionality, the use of mobile devices did not affect one's emotional state significantly. This suggests that there could be other factors influencing the relationship between mobile devices and fake news vulnerability. Furthermore, while a more positive emotional state led to a slightly greater likelihood to verify received information, the intent to verify information was not accurately predicted by negative emotionality, nor the use of different platforms. This means that there are potentially two areas for further research. 1. Mobile phone users are more vulnerable to fake news, and it is important to understand why. Secondly, it is also important to better understand what motivates people to verify information, as this is a behavior which protects them from believing and sharing fake news. So, the next time you're on your phone, don't believe everything you read. What do you think can better protect users against fake news? Leave a comment down below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe!